I never thought my heart would open again. If someone had told me a few years ago that I would one day write a letter filled with hope instead of pain, I would have smiled politely and quietly walked away. Life has a strange way of changing us. It teaches lessons we never wanted to learn, and sometimes it leaves scars so deep that we begin to believe they will never heal. There was a time when I convinced myself that love simply wasn't meant for me anymore. I built walls around my heart, telling everyone that I was fine, even when every quiet night reminded me of everything I had lost. Maybe that's why I'm writing this today. Because somewhere in this world, you exist we haven't met yet, or maybe our paths have crossed without us knowing. But if fate truly has a plan, then one day you'll read the story, written in my eyes before I ever speak a word. I want you to know that if I seem careful, it's not because I don't want to love you. It's because I've learned how painful it is to give someone your whole heart and watch them walk away with pieces you'll never get back. There were mornings when I questioned my own worth and nights when silence became my closest companion. I stopped believing in forever because forever had once ended without warning. Friends told me to move on. Family told me that time heals everything, but healing isn't something that happens overnight. It's a slow journey filled with small victories that no one else notices. It's smiling for the first time without pretending. It's laughing without feeling guilty. It's waking up and realizing the pain doesn't control every thought anymore. Those little moments slowly brought me back to life. Along the way, I discovered parts of myself that I had ignored for years. I learned that happiness doesn't always come from another person. Sometimes it comes from finding peace within yourself. I learned to enjoy quiet mornings with coffee, long walks without a destination, sunsets that reminded me another day had passed, and simple conversations with strangers who unknowingly restored my faith in humanity. Those moments didn't erase my past, but they reminded me that life still had beauty waiting around every corner. And maybe that's where you were all along, somewhere beyond the horizon, living your own story, carrying your own scars, wondering if someone would ever truly understand you. I hope life has been kind to you, but if it hasn't, I hope you've remained strong. I hope you found reasons to smile even on the hardest days. I hope you've never let bitterness steal your gentle heart, because when we finally meet, I don't want perfection. I don't expect someone who has never cried or never failed. I want someone real, someone whose heart has been tested, but still chooses kindness, someone who understands that love isn't about grand promises or perfect moments. It's about showing up every single day, especially when life becomes difficult. I dream about ordinary moments more than extraordinary ones. Sitting beside you after a long day without needing to fill every silence. Cooking dinner together, even if we burn the food. Laughing over silly mistakes. Watching the rain through the window while talking about dreams we haven't achieved yet. Holding your hand during difficult times instead of pretending everything is okay. Those are the memories I want to build with you. I don't need a perfect love story, because perfect stories don't exist. I just want an honest one. There will be disagreements. There will be stressful days. We won't always understand each other immediately. But I promise, I will never stop trying. I promise to listen before judging. I promise to apologize when I'm wrong. I promise to remind you every day that you're not facing this world alone anymore. Maybe you've been hurt too. Maybe someone made promises they couldn't keep. Maybe you've cried yourself to sleep, wondering why your love wasn't enough. If that's true, I hope you know this right now. None of those painful moments define your future. They simply prepared you for something better. And maybe, just maybe, they prepared you for us, because every disappointment taught me patience. Every heartbreak taught me compassion. Every lonely night taught me how valuable genuine companionship really is. If we had met earlier, perhaps we wouldn't have appreciated each other the same way. Maybe we both needed time to become the people we're meant to be before our lives could finally cross. So until that day arrives, I'll keep becoming the best version of myself. I'll keep healing. I'll keep believing that somewhere, someone is praying for the same kind of love I'm hoping to find. And when our paths finally meet, I hope you'll recognize something familiar in my heart, because even though we've never spoken, I've been saving a place there just for you. When we finally find each other, I don't want our relationship to be built on fear or uncertainty. I want it to be built on trust, honesty, and the quiet confidence that no matter what happens, we will face it together. I know life won't suddenly become perfect just because we've met. There will still be unexpected challenges, difficult decisions, and moments that test our patience. But the difference will be that we won't have to carry those burdens alone anymore. We'll become each other's safe place, the person we look for after both our happiest victories and our hardest defeats. I imagine the first time you truly smile at me without hesitation. I wonder if you'll realize how much that simple smile will mean. It won't just brighten my day. It will remind me that hope was worth holding on to. It will prove that every painful chapter before you wasn't the end of my story. It was simply preparing the next page where your name would finally appear. I hope we create a home filled with laughter instead of silence, understanding instead of pride, and forgiveness instead of resentment. I hope our future is filled with ordinary mornings that become unforgettable simply because we're together. Maybe we'll drink coffee while planning our day. Maybe we'll tease each other over little habits. Maybe we'll dream about places we want to visit, books we want to read, or goals we want to achieve together. Those small moments will become the treasures we remember years later. I promise I won't expect you to carry my happiness on your shoulders. That's not your responsibility. My happiness is something I continue building every day, and I hope you'll do the same. Then we'll bring two complete hearts together instead of expecting one person to fix the other's broken pieces. That's the kind of love I believe lasts. A love where two people encourage each other to grow instead of holding each other back. I want to celebrate your successes as proudly as my own. I want to remind you of your strength whenever self-doubt tries to convince you otherwise. I want to support your dreams, even the ones that seem impossible at first. Because real love doesn't compete. It inspires, it protects, it believes. There will be seasons when life feels overwhelming. We may face financial struggles, unexpected disappointments, or moments when everything seems uncertain. During those times, I hope we remember why we chose each other. Not because life was easy, but because together, we became stronger than anything life placed in our path. I hope we never stop communicating. Even when conversations become uncomfortable, I hope we choose honesty over silence. Silence can slowly build invisible walls, but truth has a way of bringing hearts back together. I want us to become the kind of couple who solves problems instead of collecting them, the kind who chooses understanding before anger and patience before assumptions. If one day we have children, I hope they grow up watching two people who respect one another deeply. I hope they learn that love isn't about expensive gifts or dramatic speeches. It's about consistency. It's about kindness shown every single day. It's about staying when staying becomes difficult. It's about choosing each other again and again, even after the excitement of the beginning becomes the comfort of everyday life. And if life blesses us with gray hair, slower steps, and countless memories, I hope we still sit together watching sunsets, smiling, because we kept every promise that truly mattered. We'll look back at all the storms we survived and realize they never defeated us because we faced them side by side. Maybe one day you'll ask me if I always believed we would meet. I'll probably smile before answering, because the truth is complicated. There were days when I lost hope completely. There were moments when I thought my heart would remain closed forever. But somehow, despite everything, a small part of me refused to stop believing. That tiny spark of hope kept whispering that somewhere in this enormous world, someone was searching for the same peace, the same loyalty, and the same unconditional love. That someone was you. So until our story officially begins, I'll continue preparing for the life we'll someday build together. I'll continue becoming more patient, more understanding, and more grateful. Because when love finally arrives after you've almost given up on it, you don't take it for granted anymore. You protect it, you nurture it, you thank God for it every single day. And when I finally look into your eyes, I won't see a stranger. I'll see the answer to every silent prayer I whispered during the nights when I thought no one was listening. You'll remind me that broken hearts can heal, lonely roads can lead somewhere beautiful, and hope is never wasted. So to my future wife, wherever you are today, thank you for existing even before we've met. Thank you for unknowingly giving me a reason to believe that the best chapter of my life hasn't been written yet. I never thought my heart would open again. But now I know it was only waiting for the right person to gently knock instead of forcing the door open. And when that day finally comes, I'll welcome you with a heart that has learned, healed, grown stronger, and is finally ready to love again.